Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
Nunmehr endgültig abgelöst wurde von einem ruhenden Volk. Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, you are about to embark upon the great crusade toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. We will accept nothing less than full victory. Good luck, and let us all beseech the blessing of Almighty God upon this great and noble undertaking.
On July 29th, 1921, Adolf Hitler became the leader of the National Socialist Party, also known as the Nazi Party. 12 years later, on January 30th, 1933, Adolf Hitler then became the Chancellor of Germany.
On March 12th, the first concentration camp opened at, however you say that place, outside of Berlin. This was just one of many to be constructed during the war. On August 2nd, 1934, German President Hindenburg died. 17 days later, Adolf Hitler became the Führer of Germany.
On May 22nd, 1939, Germany and Italy proclaimed their alliance by signing the Pact of Steel. 3 months later, Germany and Soviet Russia signed a pact, hoping to keep peace with one another. Their alliance only lasted for 2 years, though.
On September 1st of the same year, Nazis invaded Poland. 2 days later, Britain, France, Australia, and New Zealand declared war on Germany. On September 10th, Canada declared war on Germany and the Battle of the Atlantic began. 7 days later, Soviets invaded Poland.
From April 9th to June 9th, Germany invaded and took control of Denmark and Norway. Starting on May 10th, Germany used quick strikes called Blitzkrieg, meaning lightning war, to take over much of Western Europe, including the Netherlands, Belgium, and northern France.
On June 10th, Italy enters the war as a member of the Axis powers. At the time, the Axis powers included Germany, Italy, and Soviet Russia.
Starting on July 10th, 1940, Germany launched air attacks on Great Britain. These attacks lasted until the end of October and are known as the Battle of Britain. On September 27th, Germany, Italy, and Japan signed the Tripartite Pact, creating the Axis alliance. On June 22, 1941, Germany and the Axis powers attacked Russia with a huge force of over 4 million troops. Russia and Germany quickly became sworn enemies in the war.
On September 1st, Nazis ordered Jews to wear the iconic yellow Star of David. 28 days later, almost 34,000 Jews are murdered at Kiev.
On December 7, 1941, the Japanese attacked the U.S. Navy in Pearl Harbor. The very next day, the U.S. entered World War II on the side of the Allies. The United States of America and Britain both declared war on Japan. 3 days later, Hitler declares war on the United States.
On January 1st of 1942, the Declaration of the United Nations was signed by 26 Allied nations. 25 days later, the first American forces arrived in Great Britain.
In June of 1942, mass murder of Jews began by using gas chambers at Auschwitz. On July 9th, the Germans began a drive towards Stalingrad in the USSR. On September 13th, the Battle of Stalingrad began.
On January 27th of 1943, the first bombing raids by Americans began on Germany. On February 2nd, Germans surrender at Stalingrad in the first big defeat of Hitler's armies.
November 18th marked the beginning of a large British air raid on Berlin. On November 28th, Franklin Roosevelt, Winston Churchill, and Joseph Stalin all met at Tehran.
On January 6th of 1944, Soviet troops advanced into Poland. On March 18th, the British dropped 3,000 tons of bombs during an air raid on Hamburg, Germany. On May 12th, Germans surrender in Crimea.
June 6, 1944 marked the beginning of the D-Day landings on the northern coast of France. On July 20th, the assassination attempt by German army officers against Hitler fails. On July 24th, Soviet troops liberate the first concentration camp at, however you say that. On August 19th, there was a resistance uprising in Paris.
On October 21st of 1944, there was a massive German surrender. 9 days later marked the last use of gas chambers at Auschwitz.
On January 17, 1945, Soviet troops captured Warsaw, Poland. On January 26, Soviet troops liberated the Auschwitz concentration camp. From February 4th to the 11th, Roosevelt, Churchill, and Stalin met yet again at Yalta.
On April 16th, Soviet troops begin their final attack on Berlin. This causes German forces to surrender 2 days later. On April 21st, Soviet forces finally reached Berlin.
On April 30th, 1945, Hitler committed suicide in his underground bunker along with his wife, whom he had got married to 2 days earlier. On May 2nd, 1945, German troops in Italy surrendered. May 7th marked the unconditional surrender of all German forces to the Allied forces.
On June 5th, Allies divide up Germany and Berlin and take over the government. On July 1st, American, British, and French troops move into Berlin.
On July 16th, the U.S. tested their first ever atomic bomb. Less than a month later, they dropped the first atomic bomb ever used in warfare on Hiroshima, Japan.
On August 9th, the second atomic bomb was dropped on Nagasaki, Japan. 5 days later, Japan unconditionally surrenders and signs the Surrender Agreement Act, officially ending World War II. On October 24th, the United Nations is born.